Good morning, everyone. Yeah, thank you for giving me the opportunity to share some of the innovative things I think we're doing at Guess. First of all, she did a good job of actually explaining who Guess is, but I'm going to go over and kind of tell you about the brand. But to keep our attorneys happy, and in case I say something that really excites you and you want to run out and buy our stock, I have to put the safe harbor statement. Guess is, a lot of people think of us as just a denim company that sells denim to department stores, but actually we're a global lifestyle brand. We have accessories, jewelry, watches, handbags, eyewear, fragrance, in addition to footwear and apparel. We're actually a global company. When I started in 2004, actually about 95% of our revenue came from North America. Now over half of it comes overseas, and you can see we have 1,600 stores in 95 countries, so we're truly a global brand. We have actually 4 different concepts. We have the Guess concept, which everybody knows, targeting 20 to 35-year-olds and men and women across those product categories. We have a factory business, very profitable, and this is more for the value-oriented consumer. We have Marciano, and this is for sophisticated women from 20 to, well, if you could wear it, go for it, right? And then we have G by Guess, which is our newest brand, and this is targeting kind of the younger crowd and very fashion-forward but affordable clothing. So here's some of our stores. South Florida is actually a huge market for us. And if you want to take a break and go shop and keep me employed, I'd love it. You can we have a store in Lincoln Road, in South Beach, and Aventura. We have a factory store. Actually, our biggest store in the chain is in Sawgrass Mills here in South Florida. Marciano, same thing, Lincoln Road. And then there's several G by Guess stores. But looking at these key business drivers that we have for mobile or for just BI is, we're trying to take the data that we've amassed and drive operational efficiency. And then we have a large workforce that turns over quite a bit. We want to impart product knowledge to these people, so when the customer comes in, we can provide a really decent experience and engage that customer and, of course, drive revenue. Now, the biggest problem with BI, we've been a MicroStrategy customer for about 15 years, is always adoption. And I remember in 2010, the iPad had just come out, and I was in Cannes at the MicroStrategy conference. That was a tough one to go to, great location. And Michael Saylor was up there, and I thought, the iPad is a solution in search of a problem. And when I started listening to him speak, I thought, wow, this is an amazing platform for actually consuming data. And if you look at the retail paradigm, we have a lot of creative people. And looking at reports or actually using desktop is not something they like to do. But on an iPad, if you can combine rich media and pictures, wow, it really helps adoption. So that was in April. And I hate to admit it, I was using a BlackBerry back then. I can't even imagine that now. But I actually texted back to my team and said, buy a couple of these iPads. And actually, in Q3 of 2010, we launched our first app. But the first apps were always geared toward the corporate user. And so, if we look at the field, we have about 10,000 employees across the world. And we've provided paper reports. But what's the problem with paper reports? They're not interactive. And they're a point in time. And then, we could have them actually go use the computer in the back office. But I want my salespeople on the floor engaging customers, not sitting in the back office, writing reports. So basically, mobile has really changed that for them. But the thought of rolling out a bunch of iOS devices across 1,600 stores, I found kind of repugnant. But it's actually a great solution. And then also I want to touch on is big data. I think this is such a hugely abused word. When I look at the data that we have, we're collecting the same data that we have for 20 years. The only difference now is that we have databases such as Paracel, Teradata, Vertica that allow us to actually access that. And I remember I was at MIT at a conference a couple years ago, and Tom Davenport, who's the father of big data, was speaking. And he was recounting a story where he was talking to one of the CTO of a big credit card processor. And what they said was, he said, what are you doing with big data? And the guy said, look, we aren't even accessing all our structured data, so how could we even think about big data? And that struck a chord with me because I thought, we have a loyalty program with 10 million customers, and we have about 70% of the transactions I can attribute to an individual. But yet I had only 4 people accessing that data. There was some analysts that would go and segment the data so we could actually go and provide marketing message appropriately. But I thought, wow, what if I take that data, put it on an iPad and unlock that and give it to store associates? And so when a customer came in, they could see exactly what that customer was buying and really help that experience. And to me, that was like the democratization of BI. I could actually go and give this to thousands of people rather than just 4 people. So this is what we've done. Now, we've done a lot of mobile apps, but the 2 I want to talk about are really for our field users. One's a clienteling app, which helps the store associate engage customers and drive revenue. And the next one's a product app to help, we have a big workforce there and we want to impart product knowledge, and especially with one that turns over fast. Now, these use cases are retail oriented, but any of you who have a business with customers and selling a product could actually leverage these type of apps. So the first one is our clienteling app. So in this, we can actually see exactly what a customer bought in brick and mortar and in e-commerce. And so this gives a 360-degree view of the customer. And using this app, actually, store employees can communicate with customers, tell them about if their loyalty points are going to expire, if new products arrived, or if we have a sale, et cetera. Now, this is rolled out in North America. We're rolling it out in Asia and in the US. So looking at how we leverage this. Well, we actually take the data and we look at what a customer buys by category, and we look at their purchasing behavior, and we recommend items for that customer using some analytics. So when a customer comes in, the associate knows how to target this customer and get a higher conversion rate. We've also have an outfitter application here, a component. And what we've done is we've looked at what the customers purchased, and we look at what other customers have purchased with those items, and we make recommendations. Now, the big difference here is this is really for omni-channel, because we're not looking at just the items that are sold in that store. We're looking for the items that we sell across the chain. And whether it's available in e-commerce, and we have pretty good functionality. We can ship from store, we can order in store, et cetera. And so this is used to actually sell items across the chain, not just what's in the store, and really convert that customer to an omni-channel customer. Next, we have messaging. I mean, think about most marketing. Most marketing is one-to-many. So, and you might do a little segmentation to give customers, a message, but it's not, think about one-to-one. If I could actually establish a relationship as an associate with a customer, and if I can communicate them directly, that's many-to-many, which is extremely powerful. Now, of course, I wouldn't want to let people go off and do this willy-nilly, because we want to make sure that we can maintain the, consistency and be true to the brand. So through this app, we can actually have an associate email customers, and this is what it looks like. We can say, hey, I know you came in looking for this item, et cetera. This is what we recommend. But think about email. Email now is, your mailbox is cluttered. People don't really open it all the time, and click-through rates and open rates are declining. So we have a consumer mobile app, and with this, we can actually communicate directly to the customer to the mobile app and message them. Now, this is kind of cool because I don't know about you, but when I get a message on my phone through a mobile app, I always look at those almost 100%. So this has actually worked for us quite well. And see, this is what it would look like. And then, okay, so that's clienteling. Now there's the product app. I mean, think about a retail environment. We have 10,000 employees, and they turn over quite often. And what we want to do is we want to make sure that they have the product knowledge, so when a customer comes in, they can effectively sell and drive revenue. So using that, we've developed a couple apps. One's a new arrival app, and this shows the stores exactly what products are going to arrive in the store, and not just for them, but across the chain. So if they see a product that their store is not getting that they think is appropriate for their market, they could actually message corporate and say, look, go ahead, and I want that product. Or they can, when customers come in, they actually have a good understanding of everything that's offered. Next is bestsellers. So we actually provide what the bestsellers are in their store and also the bestseller across the chain. So, and this is done in units and dollars. So they can look at what's driving maybe velocity in units, but then they can look at also what are the high dollar transactions, because that's really what's driving margin. And here they can see if there's a bestseller in the chain but not in their store, then they can see, hey, maybe it's in the stockroom or maybe it's not put, displayed appropriately. And they can use this to help drive the visual merchandising and actually see the effect of visual merchandising. Because I'm sure when you go in and you see product displayed nicely, that helps drive consumer behavior. Next is hourly replen. So for stores that have high volume, the last thing you want to do is, as sales occur and sizes get broken, a customer comes in, you're going to lose sales. And so this actually shows exactly what's sold and directs the associate to actually get those items out of the stockroom. Now, if they see that they're actually sold out and they have nothing in the stockroom, they can message corporate so they can get replened immediately. So obviously, if you don't have good inventory management, you're not going to drive sales. So this is an example of two apps we've done. We've done, dozens of mobile apps, but in the field, this has really, really worked well. And MicroStrategy has been a great partner. And the thing that I like about it is when we deployed mobile, it wasn't as if we had to go out and buy another product. We could leverage our whole investment in MicroStrategy and everything in the infrastructure. And the incremental effort to do these mobile apps is really minimal. And it's driven such an amazing success for us. So I'd like to thank MicroStrategy and thank you all for listening. Take care.